Thank you for joining us. Sorry, I'm getting over a cough, so I really appreciate that you all are here this morning for the mayor's briefing on March 27th. Now, we had a wonderful NCAA tournament event in Wichita this past weekend, and I want to thank the many organizations, including Wichita State University, Visit Wichita, Intrust Bank Arena, and many other individuals who came together to make Wichita a great host for all of the fans, as well as the athletes who came here to the air capital of the world for the first and second rounds of men's basketball March Madness. Well, every week we have a special guest, and to no surprise, we have another one from Animal Services. Lily Meadows, our city fellow, is here to share more about the animal of the week.
Thank you, Mayor. We're very excited to be here. Today we have Meadow, who has been at the shelter since March 21st with her brother and her sister. This sweet girl, along with her siblings, would love to be adopted. Her specific animal number is A174882, and if you reach out to the Kansas Humane Society, they will handle the adoption. The goal of Wichita Animal Services is to reunite as many pets with their owners. So keep checking 24 Pet Connect to see if your lost animal is there, and also look at the Wichita Animal Shelter Facebook page to see if your pet is also there. We are seeing daily intakes rising with the warmer weather, so if you guys could share the Facebook page and help us get the word out so we can reunite even more animals with their families, that would be amazing. And thank you again for having us. Please adopt Meadow.
Appreciate Lily and Meadow for coming this morning. As a reminder, we urge all residents to spay and neuter their pets to help curb the influx of animals that are coming into the Wichita Animal Shelter. And along with all of our country partners in shelters, we are facing an increase. And so we really would like the public's help with not just spay and neutering, but also reconnecting with your pets by having your pets microchipped. Now we're going to talk about what's on the screen right here, and that is street conversions. We have been sharing about street changes coming to downtown as part of the 2009 Project Downtown Plan. Emporia was switched to two-way from Central to Murdoch. Topeka was converted to two-way from Waterman to Murdoch. Main and Market are expected to be finalized within the next month. And as a reminder, these conversions are in line with studies that show two-way streets help make streets safer for both pedestrians and allow better access to area businesses. In other street maintenance news, in District 1, Commerce will be closed south of Waterman starting next week, and St. Francis will resume to one-lane southbound only from Lewis to Kellogg. Now, this project will reconstruct both Commerce and St. Francis streets as two-way roadways with sidewalks, parking, and new pedestrian and vehicular connections between both of those streets. Now we're going to go by district. District 2, 21st Street is reduced to one lane in each direction between the on and off ramps of K96. District 3, Southeast Boulevard, reduced to one lane in each direction from Pawnee to South Wassell. The southbound I-135 off-ramp onto Pawnee will be closed starting April 2nd. Traffic will be detoured to the Harry Street exit, utilizing Southeast Boulevard and hydraulic to reconstruct a sewer pipe. And traffic is reduced to one lane in each direction on George Washington Boulevard from Hillside to Menlo Street. Then in District 4, traffic is reduced to one lane in each direction on West Street from south of Pawnee to Harry to convert West Street from a 4-lane to a 5-lane roadway. West Street is northbound traffic from 47th Street South to MacArthur. Traffic is detoured utilizing MacArthur, Meridian, and 47th Street South to convert West Street from a 2-lane roadway to a 3-lane. And finally, MacArthur Road is closed east of Hoover Road and west of West Street. Traffic will be detoured south of 55th Street at Hoover Road and West Street to accommodate bridge repairs on MacArthur Road. As always, you can see our weekly traffic bulletin on wichita.gov. Well, I think that's why I'm getting an aggravated cough, but it has to do with the smoke outside. That is why April kicks off next week, and we're hoping to get many more spring showers over Cheney to help with the drought. but it also is a reminder that there is a burn ban in April. To go back to water, it's a reminder to please visit savewichitawater.com for irrigation tips, conservation tips, and information on the drought levels and much more. This was a topic of discussion during Tuesday's city workshop. April also brings Burn Ban Month, when opening burning in certain areas of the state, including Wichita, is restricted during the entire month of April. Now, this ban is imposed in 16 counties in the state of Kansas through the entire month of April. Restricted activities include burning trees and brush from land clearing, crop residues, construction debris, and yard waste. This ban does not include outdoor cooking apparatuses, ceremonial fires, or open burning for the purpose of crop, range, pasture, and wildlife or watershed management. So effective April 1st, no new burn permits will be issued, and all previously issued burn permits will be suspended until at least May 1st. Now, the state regulations were implemented in response to the Kansas Flint Hills Smoke Management Plan. This plan was implemented to address concerns that smoke from Flint Hills agricultural burning during April impacts urban areas by significantly increasing ozone levels, specifically in Wichita and the Kansas City area. So this is again a reminder that during the entire month of April, there will be a burn ban in the city of Wichita, and again is to reduce the smoke from the Flint Hills agricultural burning during the month of April. Well, now we have something new and special that we would like to do here during the mayor's briefings, and this is called an employee recognition. As you know, there are about 3,000 employees that work for the city of Wichita under the leadership of City Manager Bob Layton. And so today, I would like to recognize one of the amazing employees and van drivers for Wichita Transit, Lisa Johnson. I'll have you right here because I'm going to read a couple of things about Lisa and why she's getting this special recognition. On the morning of March 6, while on her route, full-time van operator Lisa Johnson observed a young child at the corner of 53rd and Meridian attempting to flag down vehicles as she appeared to be in distress, this individual. Ms. Johnson had only started with Wichita Transit the previous August, but due to the training she received, she recalled that Wichita Transit participates in a program called Safe Place, along with other businesses in Wichita, which include Quick Trip. The Safe Place program is designed to assist those in crisis situations by providing them a safe place to wait for further assistance from our Wichita Police Department. Ms. Johnson stopped her vehicle and asked the child if he was okay. Although the young child was unable to tell her his age and address due to cognitive issues, he was able to articulate what grade he was in, what took place to cause him to need assistance, as well as his name. Ms. Johnson then placed him in her van and brought him to Wichita Transit, where Wichita Police was contacted. So we want to say thank you very much, Lisa Johnson, for going above and beyond your duties to assist those in need in our community. Her observation while driving her route and following one of the key principles of defensive driving, know your surroundings and get the big picture, allowed her to aid a young child in distress and prevented additional harm to the young man. Lisa, we would like to present to you a certificate of recognition on behalf of City Manager Bob Layton and myself.
Just thank you on behalf of the City of Wichita and Transit for the excellent training that they gave me the last 7 months. Thank you.
Thank you again, Lisa, and appreciate your service as well as the individuals who work for Wichita Transit. As you know, the city of Wichita, again, has around 3,000 employees and about 15 departments. So to recognize Lisa is an honor, and we'll be doing this more often, and really excited about this portion of the mayor's briefing. Public service and going above and beyond is a key tenet of the workers here at the city of Wichita. So again, we, the city manager and I, appreciate Lisa and the many other employees who are out here every day serving the community. With that, I have some good news. Every mayor's briefing, I end with what's going on in our community. So this upcoming Saturday at noon, Wichita's Veterans Memorial Park will hold a ceremony to commemorate Vietnam Veterans Day and all U.S. veterans who served in that war. It will be held at the park's Vietnam Veterans Memorial. The event will include a national anthem, remarks by guest speakers, Vietnam veteran Bryson Allen, and an opening and closing prayer. The public is welcome to attend, and guests are advised to bring chairs if they would like to have a seat. So again, it's this Saturday at noon at Wichita's Veterans Memorial Park. Then at 2 o'clock on Saturday, there's a Vietnam Memorial plaque dedication at Wichita East High, my alma mater. So this is another public event for individuals to come and see the plaque dedication, and it will be a presentation also of the colors by the East High JROTC, and also individuals who will be recognized are the class of 1960s. And last but not least, on Saturday also, the organization, the Body of Christ ICT, will have a movie night, and it's a free viewing of the movie called Sound of Hope, which is a story about the foster care system and the opportunities that people can have in helping young children who are part of the foster care system. So this will be held on Saturday, March 29th at 3 p.m. at 915 East 53rd Street North. Again, this is a free event on Saturday at 3 o'clock for the viewing of Sound of Hope. And again, we appreciate all the partners who are part of this viewing, including the Body of Christ, Word of Life Church, Care for Every Family, Care Portal, and more. With that, I know we had Councilmember Glasscock here, so I wanted to make sure I recognize that he was in the room, who represents District Number 4. With that, I will now open it up for questions.
Went to wages for Wichita's workforce, and 2.7 came straight from the downtown corridor. Your just response and reaction to that?
I'm just so excited that Wichita gets to host these major events, and I'm very proud of all the individuals that were able to make it a successful event this past weekend. We want to let the entire nation know that the city of Wichita wants to continue hosting these big events because it not just provides economic impact for our entire community, it also puts Wichita on the map as this welcoming city with the amenities that are important for these major events. So as the mayor of Wichita, I'm just very proud of the city of Wichita staff who made it possible, including our first responders. I had many individuals from out of town tell me that they felt so safe and were so proud of how clean the city was, and they appreciated seeing our officers in all modes of transportation, whether walking in vehicles, on horseback, on bicycles, and they felt really safe. So I really want to commend all the city staff who made it possible, but also thank you to Visit Wichita, as well as Wichita State University and Interest Bank Arena.
Great, and then on terms of the street changes, what is your biggest hope with this?
I'll let Megan answer the streets.
The conversions of the streets, our main goal is to make them safer, both for pedestrians and other drivers. An ancillary benefit is also just to make access to those area businesses more accessible and a little bit faster for drivers.
And my final question, Mayor, we did discuss the burn ban. This has been something that's been discussed in, I think, every newsroom of the city. We've had fire danger warnings, we've had fires across the state because of the season. What do you have to say about the importance of this burn ban and any message you'd like to give out to our residents on that?
Absolutely. Well, our Wichita Fire Department is here, and they're the best experts to explain why a burn ban is so critical in the city of Wichita and other counties that have this restriction.
First, thank you for that question. This is kind of a two-part answer, going to the burn ban versus safety versus air quality. Air quality still being a safety concern for many residents. The April burn ban is an air quality burn ban that is issued by the state of Kansas. So we follow, and we're following that. It just so happens that right now, it's a fire ban as far as just extreme fire danger. So it's really important for people to be aware of that, make sure there's no careless smoking. Actually, I prefer no smoking, period. And, safety along other lines that way to help, not only themselves, but their neighbors and the citizens of Wichita. Because when we do have one fire, some people might think it just affects that one individual, but it affects the whole neighborhood, which in turn affects the whole community. So by simply preventing it, we're better as a community and people.
How concerned are you about this fire danger season right now, with the winds being Kansas winds and this being that prime season for it? What is your concern level, I would say?
So if I had to give it on a scale of 1 to 10, is maybe that what you're asking me? I don't want to be an extremist, but I'm going to say about a 10 out of a 10. Maybe days I would say 11 out of a 10. It's really bad, it's really dry. And then when you have these wind-driven fires, we can lose entire neighborhoods. You look across the country, what's happened in California, in Carolina and other places, and we don't want that to happen here. We don't want it to happen anywhere. We pray for all those that have gone through difficult times with that, but all of us can do our part to help prevent that.
If you do want to talk about how we prepare for those, just how we're ready to respond to anything.
Yep. So a lot of times we will, when we know we're in extreme fire dangers and we're at those risk levels and we're monitoring that, we get additional staff ready and prepared with additional possible deployments as far as our brush trucks, getting additional staff ready to go, getting our reserve apparatus set up, ready to go for the front line. That way, if it does start to escalate and go, we have all the equipment ready to go, the personnel ready to go, that we can implement them quickly to help with that.
Any further questions? I do. Before we conclude, I'd like to again address the transgender proclamation. The newspaper and 3 television stations all repeatedly misreported that I either refused or declined to sign a proclamation. I'd like to ask each of them to cite their source. Let me repeat. While I did not vote for this proclamation, I also did not ask for my signature to be removed. City staff has determined this was a clerical error, and they have implemented a new internal process for proclamations so this does not occur in the future. Since I remain committed to providing Wichitans greater transparency, there will be a presentation and discussion on proclamations at next Tuesday's City Council meeting. I'd also like to address my prior statement and my choice of the word segregate, which some of our media partners had trouble understanding. The definition of segregate is to, quote, set apart from the rest or from each other, isolate or divide. Clearly, this proclamation has divided our community. Mission accomplished for those who submitted it, but that's not what I was talking about. Just last year, I read an inclusive proclamation on LGBTQIA+ Pride Month. Transgender Day of Visibility has been around since 2009, and former Mayor Whipple, who was in office the last 4 years, did not issue this proclamation. Instead, for the first time, his campaign team requested a transgender proclamation for this month that segregated the T from LGBTQIA+. There are people in our community who are more interested in trying to score political points than addressing Wichita's actual needs. Let me be clear, I believe in individual liberty and personal responsibility. How you choose to live your life is none of my business. Please don't expect me to cheerlead for it. Thank you.